Three, two, one. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics Storytime Live. It's another beautiful night out here in sunny California, Southern California, West Coast, Best Coast, represent. I don't know why I'm saying all that stuff, but yeah, here we are. It's episode 133. For those of you who never watched a show of mine, Storytime Live, that is. This is a show where we just sit and gather twice a week, the day before New Comic Day and the day after. We sit and we have a nice beverage. Tonight, episode's brought to you by Samuel Adams, Boston Lager. So if you're going to drink beer, drink good beer. And yeah, we sit and have a drink and read some comics. We chit chat. Most of the people in the chat are regulars. If you're not a regular, just come say hi and you'll be one before you know it. Appreciate everyone that's here. Appreciate everyone that participates in the chat and gives me something to say. I'm not some sort of pro. Always reminds me. Start the timer. For those of you who are like, I don't want to hear you gab, Ash. I set a timer for 30 minutes. We'll just sit here and talk. Gives people time to stroll in. If you're just here for the books and you're like, I just want to hear you read stories. Well, there you go. Come back 30 minutes. And if you're watching this after the fact, well, then you can just drag the little scroll bar. You can drag it until you come to the picture of the comic book, which is here on the thumbnail image. Yeah, there you go. So how you guys doing? Did you guys get comics yesterday? Yesterday was a slow day for me. We did a criminal cast. I didn't get to go to the store, but I went today and I got some comics. How about that? I didn't get very many. I had a good day for comics and a bad day. So what do you want, the good news first or the bad news first? And while I wait for that, let's get into the chat. See who's first. Melissa is first, as most always. She is the reigning champion of showing up in the chat first. Melissa, we always appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Ed Brewer. I almost said Brubaker. Wow. That'd be a compliment, wouldn't it? Ed Brewer, resident Pink Floyd fan, so I know he has good taste. He's here. Second place says, spoiler, If Barry takes a day off, bad things will happen. Spoiler, even if Barry doesn't take a bad day off, bad things will happen. That's just the nature of comic books, right? Every issue is like something bad is happening. Lord is here, 3rd place. Wow, Lord. He seems to be surprised, doesn't know where he's at. Melissa says her son Matt is getting married. Wow. I bet that makes you proud. I hope. Hopefully it's not like, but no, congrats to your son. And I hope it's a nice wedding and a nice, happy marriage to follow. FF2's in the house. Says hello to everyone. Lord wants to know if I'm okay. I didn't know you cared, Lord. I don't think you really did. I really don't. Good to see you, FF2. Eric's here. Ash got his pinky caught in his wine rack selecting a vintage for tonight's story. Oh, yeah. I don't have a wine rack anymore. I'm sad. But I do have a beer. Marania's here. She says, no, Ash had a church key mishap opening his favorite bottle of beer. That's right. Because if you can open your beer with twist off, it's not a good beer. That's one of the tricks. You need to use a church key. And let's see. Scrolling down. Still people strolling in casually. Lord says this is a show about booing Ash and rising Pitchford and Torch. Also drinks. So, that's I guess that would be a fun show for you guys. I don't know how fun that is for me. People's Republic of California. Yeah, that's here. We got enough petitions to recall our governor, but Democrats are doing everything to make sure that doesn't happen. So it's just sitting around in limbo. I don't know what we're gonna recall our governor. And what's her name? Caitlyn Jenner has thrown her hat in the ring. So we could have the first transgendered governor potentially. I'm almost positive that's gonna happen. Like if the recall goes through and they have a recall, I just see it. Like I just feel like, because California is a clown show. It really is. I had a rough day, so I hope you can give me a little leniency. I had to get up, take my buddy to the airport at 5:30 a.m. That was sinful. And then I was doing the criminal cast last night, and then I ended up staying up with Eric Breen, and then he was all bitching about how you gotta get up in the morning, and he's on the East Coast, and I was like, I gotta get up earlier than you, I bet. And then he asked, well, what time you gotta get up? I said, well, I gotta take my friend to the airport at 5:30 a.m. And he laughed at me. So Eric got to get more sleep than me. That bastard. Speaking of that bastard, he says, Ash, guess what I'm doing? Reading a back issue. You bastard. Let's see. Melissa is ranting about X-Men. I'll let you guys read it on your own. Iceman is now drag queen. Yeah, I got that Hellfire. I was at the comic book store today. They have a free, Marvel has printed a comic book. This is a comic book. Well, it's not a comic book. It looks like a comic book. It's got as many pages as a comic book. Maybe more. And it's got pictures and art and words. And it's 100% free. Which makes me wonder, why do your books need to cost $5 again? Oh, yeah, they don't. It's called the Hellfire Gala Hellfire Trading Company Official Guide, free. And so I picked one up. Not because I have any interest in this, not the event, but I do have a lot of interest to see what the Legion of Doofuses have typed up to talk about this stupid event. Because you just know this is just so cringe. Like, it's like a train wreck. You can't look away. I really want to do a video on this. I know, like, everyone's kind of done it already, but I haven't done it on myself. I haven't got my viewpoint out there. I just want to laugh at this. This is so bad. This oh, I'm flipping through it right now, and it's just full of X-Men characters that like I've never even heard of. It's just, who the fuck is Manifold? For a man who chit-chats with the universe, Eden Fessy has a shockingly down-to-earth charm. This is a playful outfit to match, taking nods from his first Australian heritage and mixing them with a touch of classic science fiction in a mix of lush royal orange and sizzling rocket ship silver. Interlocking circles create a sneaky X motif that suggests Eden's just at home on Krakoa, or 22,000 miles above it, as he is in Avengers Mansion or in Wakandan Palace. One thing's for sure, the everywhere man's look will be everywhere this summer. Oh my god. Is this a gala or is this like a Project Runway? I've come a long way from wearing Gateway's cast-offs, but going a long way is what I do. Oh my goodness. Stupid. Like, I could see doing a one-shot thing like this and just having at it, because, you know, some people are going to be interested in this. Some people like runway models and fashion and stuff, and whatever, do whatever. But 12 issues of this? Yeah. Let's see. Eric says, in fairness, I laugh at Ash for a myriad of reasons. Well, I try to give you tons of reasons to laugh. That's for sure. X-Men is going to lose more readers after Hellfire Gala. Yeah, it is. It certainly. But then it's also going to have... Do you ever notice when comics go super shitty that there's a certain segment of the fans that sort of like dig their heels in even harder? I feel like certain fans, they go into denial mode where it's just like, they got to, no, it's my comic, I'll defend it to the last. And I'm like, look at what it's doing. Like, this is, no, damn it. And, you know, their brain starts doing mental gymnastics to try to excuse. And I feel like that's what the X-Men is. And I also feel like that's what's happening with DC. I was over in the chat over at, what's the guys? Those guys, Lost in Comics. They do a pretty cool show, and I like those guys. They're nice guys. And I was over there watching their show today, and this topic about DC or something was coming up, and I just happened to post that I hate what DC's doing to their line. And I do. I've talked to you guys about it multiple times, but you know, some of the people there, it's a different audience. And some of the people are like, I'm just loving the DC. Like, okay, I guess. I don't understand how you can love turning Superman into crazy weirdo is going to go lead the Authority, and then putting 18-year-old Jonathan Kent as the new Superman just ruined his... I don't know. I don't understand how you can like the old stuff. I don't understand how you can like Rebirth and then appreciate what's happening now. I don't understand how you can like... I like the Omniverse where nothing matters. Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. Like, but to be fair, everyone over there was real nice. No one like jumped on my shit or anything. So kudos to Lost in Comics and that audience for, you know, being nice and respectful, no fighting. So that was cool. Let's see. I'm just sticking to X-Men Legends and that's it, says FF2. Yeah, you know, I wish I could get excited about X-Men Legends, but Marvel has screwed the pooch so bad that I just see X-Men now and I feel like I get PTSD. And I know I'm being hyperbolic, and it's probably not fair to people who really have PTSD speech. But it's like Star Wars. It's hard for me to get excited about Star Wars anymore because Disney planted such a sour taste in my mouth. I'm just like, the thing I used to love more than anything. So the X-Men Legends, one of the biggest problem with X-Men Legends to me, besides that, is it's meaningless. It doesn't. These are stories that take place in the past, which I know some people are like, it's funny, but it doesn't affect the Marvel universe in any way, shape, or form. They're meaningless. They're just and they're sort of counter to what made the X-Men so great. One of the things that made Uncanny X-Men in the Chris Claremont era, from the mid-70s to the early 90s, was it was this long soap opera, right? This story just went on and on and on, these characters, and you just visited them every month. It wasn't like a one-shot, one-and-done comics. That's not... Chris Claremont sort of turned the industry on its head. And of course, nowadays, we might have some bad after effects, like writing for the trade and stuff. These things that a lot of people don't like could be from Chris, because he changed the industry. Before Uncanny X-Men, comics really weren't like that. And I'm sure Eric Breen, in his vast amount of knowledge, can be like, oh, he can pull out something out of his ass. There's always exceptions to the rule. But in general, most comics were like, in this issue, Spider-Man tackles, fights Lizard Man. And you'd have an issue and Lizard Man, and they would resolve the story. And usually on the last page, it would sort of be the beginning of the next story to kind of like hook you. And that was kind of the format, and it was fine. Chris Claremont was just like, I'm just going to tell this never-ending soap opera. And when you got into it, once you got into these characters and these storylines, yes, there were story arcs and things would get resolved, but it was just constantly new subplots were being dropped left, right, and just carpet bombing the Marvel Universe. Chris Claremont, then this and this and this, and you'd be like, you need to come back and revisit them. Anyways, that's one of the things. You can't do that with X-Men Legends. You can't go, oh, here's a one-and-done story that takes place after an X-Factor issue in 1989. Oh, okay. Is it entertaining? Yeah, maybe it's entertaining, but am I paying $4 or $5 for this story that doesn't really matter? I don't know. It just feels so half-assed. It feels so like pandering. It's like, oh, you X-Men fans that wish X-Men was good again? Well, here's this other... Why don't you just make X-Men like this? Just make X-Men Legends X-Men. Just, I don't know. It's tough. You guys, if you like it, more power to you. I really want to. I like some of the things about it. I'm just being transparent. And Marty says, Ash, stop torturing yourself. Have a bowl of great value peanut butter cup ice cream. You know what? I thought about you today, Marania. And I was going to go get some peanut butter cup ice cream. And I was out and about on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have to, for work, I have to like out. I'm driving out around the town. So I was out today, and I was like, oh, but I stopped by the comic book store, and I was really pissed off. Well, let me go. Did I get you guys? Did I get an answer? No one answered. I was asked who you want to hear first. So I guess I'll just pick. So it started off really good. As I went to my comic book store, I was like, there's only one comic coming out today. It's Berserker #2. There's two comics. There's Berserker #2, and then there's Reckless. Those are the two the bad boys that I was looking forward to, that were on my pull list. And let's see here. Why is this not working? There we go. So there we go. These were on my pull list for today. And I was like, now, I don't get... The store that I go to is a really good store. Love it. Great staff. But there's another store that's out in another part of San Diego that I was going to be in that vicinity today that gives 30% discounts on Reckless. And I didn't even see if my store had Reckless, to be honest. So I don't buy trades from them because I have to pay full price, and I'm just like, capitalism, competition. Some store's going to give you 30% off. You're going to charge me full price. I love you guys, but I'm taking the 30% off, especially when it's a $24.99 book. Now, on my floppies, they do give me 20% off, so I buy all my floppies. Anyways, so I was like, I'm just picking up one book. I'll just do it. I do like Berserker quite a bit. I'm very anxious to read it. So I picked it up, and lo and behold, I had pre-ordered this because I had caught wind of it, and I made sure. I was like, please order this book. It's a limited run. And that's here. This picture are the two books I picked up. and it came in. This is on the right here. This is the third printing of Berserker #1, metallic cover with all new cover art that's unique to the third printing. This is a limited edition. They only did 10,000 copies of this run, and my store ordered 15, and they got allocated. They only got 5. So, and I was like, well, you should have known, because like there's about 2,000 stores, give or take, in the country. 2,000 stores, 10,000 print run. Do the math of like how many you're gonna get per store. It's only a couple per store, so the fact that you got 5 is pretty good. So 2,000 stores with that 5 for 10,000. So each store, every store got 5 copies. So I guess that's pretty decent allocation. Yeah. So here's the kicker though. I came in and she's like, "Oh, your book's in," and I was like, "Oh," she's like, "and you're so lucky," because I was the only one that ordered it. And she's like, "You're so lucky." And I was like, "Why is that?" She's like, "This is an $80 book." And I was like, "It's like we only got 5 copies. It's $80, but since you pre-ordered it, you're getting it for cover price." So they were selling the other 4 copies for $80, and I got it for $4.99, I think it is. So, and then she talked to me. She's like, "You want to get a top loader for that?" So I bought a top loader. I was like, "Yeah, but $80 book, sweet." I'm normally not a spec guy. I don't really do that, but I just really like Berserker. These metallic covers, the pictures does not do it justice. I'm a comic collector at heart, though, and if you make a product that I really like, and I'm a big fan of, I'll throw a couple extra bucks and buy some extra covers. I don't normally want to do that just out of the gate. But especially with the industry just shitting the bed everywhere and going, we're making a bunch of crap comics. And I'm like, I'd rather buy 2 copies of Berserker than buy an issue, some shitty issue of whatever DC's doing. like a Brian Michael Bendis Justice League. No, I'll have another Berserker. This cover makes me happier. So that's the way that it goes. Hopefully you guys are happy for me. So that's the end of the good news. So then I left, and I was out and about doing work, and I got to another part of town where there's another comic book store, and this is where I got my other Reckless book. And I was like, oh yeah, 30% off. It was like 17 something for the first one. Like, yeah, that's way better than $24.95. That's like $7 off. I walk in. Well, first of all, I showed up. And like, I see as I pull up the parking lot, I see like the owner or whatever the store, like he's walking in with some food from the outside. And I was like, oh. And I had like trash in my car because I had already gotten lunch. So I was like walking over to the trash can, and I dumped the trash. He walked into the store. I walked over to the trash bin, dumped my trash, and came back to go to the store. And then the door's locked. I'm like, I just watched this dude walk in. And the door's locked. So I kind of jigged the door. I was like, ah, damn it. So I start walking back to my car. Well, first I stood there for a few minutes, thinking maybe he heard me and he's going to open the door. And then I was like, fuck it. Whatever. I'm not going to waste my time. This is bullshit. Like, comic book stores, you're hurting already. Like, I get it. You want to eat your lunch. But I'm like one customer. I'll be browsing your store. Like, eat at the counter. Like, I don't know. Whatever. So I'm like, I'm not going to sit around here for 15 minutes. Which is what the sign on the door said. So I start walking my car, about to get in, and he opens the door. But he doesn't say anything. He doesn't like wave and be like, hey, come on in. Like, he just opens the door, like unlatches it, and then walks away, like back into the store. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm here. I want the book. So I go in. Now, this store is piled high with boxes, and it's a really, really tiny little strip mall store. And it's just piled with diamond boxes and stuff. And that's normal. It's been that way every time I go there, but it's like you can barely walk through the store. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, he doesn't have room for storage and stuff, and he orders his books. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't have books on the floor. Like, you shouldn't be not selling books. Like, you're ordering too much or something. So I'm like, well, whatever. I'm here to get my book. And last time when I got Reckless, I mean, he had a stack of Reckless books. And I just grabbed one out of the stack and bought it. This time, so I was like, oh, he'll probably have a ton. Because it just came out yesterday. And so I'm like looking around through the shelf, and there's just books piled everywhere. It's a mess. And finally I hear him go, can I help you with something? And I was like, yeah. I'm looking for the new Reckless book. Sold out. Okay. I was like, and I was just trying to make conversation. I was like, did this book sell a lot more? Like, because last time you guys had a ton of them, and I was able to get one, and it just came out. I didn't expect it to be sold out. No, we sold about the same. And he said it, but the point of the story is like he said it with such like, I can't even like put the attitude into the voice, but it was like that. You ever watch The Simpsons? You have the comic book guy, and he's just like has contempt for the customer. That was like this guy. Like, just like even asking him a question was an annoyance. And I was just like, dude, okay then. Well, have a good day. And I just like left, and I walked out just going, I don't want to come back. Oh, because I asked, I was like, are you guys going to order more? Like, I had to like pry from him. If I were the owner of the shop, I'm looking for Reckless, and be like, oh man, so sorry. We sold out of those, man, but we do have more on order. Would you like me to put you down for one? Like, I would have been like more forthcoming. This guy, like, nope, sold out of those. Oh, okay. Well, are you going to order more? Or I was like, well, did it sell a lot? Because last time you had a ton. Like, was this one more popular? Everyone, no, same as before. Oh, okay. In my mind, I'm thinking, no, it's not the same as before because you had a fucking mountain of the old other ones. And and this one just came out yesterday. So I'm like, okay, whatever. In my head, I'm not going to like fight with the guy. And I was like, oh, okay, well, are you getting more in? Like, are you able to reorder them? Yeah. Should be a couple weeks though. Oh. Okay. Well, have a good day. That was me, and I like walked out. And I was just like really annoyed from the whole experience. I was like, why? I gotta like drive like this is like way across town to get to this guy's store. And like he's obviously not doing a shit ton of business because his piled boxes there. Like, dude, you gotta retail. I know retail is tough and shitty days and stuff, but it's not hard to just be friendly. You're selling comics. If you shouldn't have a comic book store if you don't love this industry, it's not a lucrative business. I don't know. I was just really annoyed by the whole thing, and I was like, well, I gotta wait a couple weeks now. If you were really nice, I would probably want to give you my business because I feel some sense of loyalty. But I'm like, if I gotta wait a couple weeks, I'll just get order off of Amazon. Screw you. But like, and it's just that's that sort of attitude. So that was my day. I did not get Reckless today. Me blabbering on. I'm sure you guys are all bored. Lord has like left the chat, I'm sure. Ronnie says that metallic cover is a frameable cover. Yeah, it's nice. Send it away, get CGC graded, maybe. No, I mean, it is fun owning a comic. I don't think it's gonna stay like $80, right? It's always like the hype. But I think I'd have to like check on all the different covers, but I think this is the second most rare cover. I think the only cover that's more rare than this would be the 1 in 1,000 variant. And people are paying obscene amounts of money for that one. It's like $1,000 or more for the 1 in 1,000 variant. So I was like that, but I got this for cover price. So yay me! That's always fun to have that sort of stuff. And there's supposed to be a 4th printing coming out. I don't know if I want to keep playing this game, but I don't know. If I can buy $80 comics for $5, seems like smart thing to do. Let's see. Reminds me of the time I got Curse of the White Knight #1. I was really happy I got the last one, says FF2. Very nice. I came back into comics after the Curse of the White Oh, no. After original White Knight was right out. Curse of the White Knight, that was definitely into that. That was the first book that I bought both covers to because I'm a huge White Knight fan. But I had to go back and buy the back issues of White Knight because I came in towards the end of its run. And that was tough because White Knight was really hot. But I did find a really good deal on eBay for the New York Comic-Con exclusive edition foil cover White Knight #1. I think I paid $25 for it after shipping and everything. So that was pretty stoked. That's a cool cover. But again, like I like having special things of the things I really love. Not every book, like just a few things. So, like, spoil yourself once in a while. Berserker is good, but Berserker is not about superpowered beatdowns. What? He does some beatdowns in the first book, for sure. You could have got a 1990s Malibu comic vintage Raiden and Kano gold foil for the price of that. I don't know. Good luck even finding one of those. Let's see. Most comic book stores nowadays don't make money off walk-ins. They make money off online sales. No, that's not true. Well, I mean, that might be true for some stores. I wouldn't say most stores. But furthermore, you need to care about your walk-in sales, right? You can lose one customer. You can piss off one customer and they can never come back and your store is going to be fine. But chances are if he's that way all the time, right? Like often. And you're just going to it's going to start piling up. You're going to more and more people. Because here's the thing. I live in San Diego. There are a lot of stores. Okay. In fact, this is kind of funny. The street that store's on is called Claremont Mesa Boulevard. There are 3 stores that I can go to that are all on that same street. Now, it's a very long street and they're miles apart, but just the 3 stores. And those aren't even the 3 stores that are my store. The store that I go to has multiple locations. I mean, I probably have 8 comic book stores in San Diego I can go to. That's just the ones I know of. I just discovered a new one a couple months ago. So there's competition. Some places of the country, that might be the only store in 50 miles, right? So you can kind of get away with being kind of that way. This guy, I'm like, dude, and I'll travel. I'll drive an extra 10 miles to go to a good store and not go to that one. A lot of people, it's a bad idea. And this store is the one that is floundering the most. You can tell when you walk into it, you're like, whoa. I mean, it's piles of boxes. I'm not talking about comic boxes. I'm talking about diamond boxes of comics that haven't been put on the shelf because the shelves are completely full of stuff and he has no place to put books. And it's just piles of just brown cardboard boxes that are blocking everything. It's bad. Oh, there's my alarm. It's about time to get to the comic book. So hope you enjoyed that little story. If you just catch up the chat real quick, 3 comic book store owners I know are mega rich off online sales. They don't care if anyone walks in their store or not. I don't know, man. Because I don't even think the big online stores that I go to are rich. So, I mean, yeah, if you're just doing an online business, but online's cutthroat, man, because there's so many stores you can go to online, Once I open up the interwebs, your location doesn't matter. And now you've got super competition. And once people start realizing, I go to, what's one of the stores I go to? It's In Stock Trades. That's the one I go. 42% off all trades. At minimum. Some are more. So you better be, that's big competition. Now you got to wait for the shipping and stuff. And I'd rather just order it from a good local store. But I don't know. It's just a bad idea. In my opinion, comic book shops are dying left and right. in comic shop owners are major weirdos behind the scenes too. They're not all that way. The store that I go to, look, I got that Berserker. This, I got it. Totally, I walk in, they know my name. They're like, "Hey, got this book for you. Here you go." Like, oh, and they make you feel good. Like, you're so lucky you ordered this. Like, we're selling this for $80, but you're getting it because and I'm like, yeah, cool. You take care of me. Like, and they held it behind, in the back for me. So like, come in. I didn't even know it was out. Like, she brings it out to me, and they do really cool things for me all the time. And they're friendly, spark up conversations. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to be a good human being, at least a friendly human being. It's possible that the owner had a bad day, might have had to wait on his food and so on. I don't care. I've worked retail. I've worked fast food. I've worked, I get it. You have bad days. You put on your fake face. It's not, you don't have to be super, like overly, bubbly and stupid. Just be like friendly. Like, especially, it's your customer. These are people coming to your business to give you money. Like this, I don't care how bad your day is. There's not an excuse. Dragon Ball's, oh, there's Marani. She saw me. Gotta go. Lord says, you cannot get rid of me so easily. Maybe I could have Marania snap her fingers. She can Thanos snap you. I wouldn't do that though, because you don't deserve it. I appreciate you being here. Let's get over here real quick. Barry's day off. Okay, so this is issue 5 of 8. This is an 8-issue arc. Technically 9 issues because it had the DC Rebirth one-shot in front of it. So this is issue 5 of the story, just to let you know. If you're new to the story, if you haven't watched the previous episodes, real quick, everyone's been getting Speed Force powers for some reason. Some experiment was done. Looks like it was through Star Labs. Not exactly sure. Godspeed has revealed himself in one panel that he's around. We don't know 100% sure if it's him that's doing it, but right now there's tons of people in the city that have got this. Barry's kind of teaching them how to use their powers, and Star Labs is helping them. So that's just kind of where we're at. And his partner, August, has also got the powers, and they're working together to try to solve this case. Ronnie says, I did point out that it wasn't an excuse for the owner to be a jerk to you, Ash. Fair enough. I wasn't arguing with you. Just kind of arguing a point in general. Melissa says, you worked at S-Mart. Shop S-Mart. Did you know? I don't know if I still have it. I think I lost it in my terrible life. At one point, if I still don't have it, I have an E3. I don't know if you guys know what E3 is. E3 is the Electronic Arts Expo. It's the biggest video game event in the world. It used to be open only to like industry people and stuff. Now I think you can get anyways. But I have an E3 badge that I got in, and I registered myself as Ash, and I put my company as S-Mart. So I used to have an Ash S-Mart E3 badge, and I used to treasure it. Now I don't know where it's at, and I feel really sad. Thanks, Melissa, for making me feel sad. Just kidding. I'm just totally kidding. It's not your fault. But I am sad. Like, that was a cool thing that I had. Dragon Ball's back. He ran off. Oh, fuck. Thought we got rid of you, man. Just kidding. All right. I'm going to read the story now because people are skimming forward to here, presumably. This is where I'm supposed to read. Quick disclaimer. I am not a professional actor, and I am reading this story cold, so I might make mistakes. You get what you pay for. You say, but we're not paying anything. Exactly. I hope you enjoy anyway. I'm trying to give you a good product for free. And a swig of beer. And here we go. My name is Mina Dewan. And I'm the fastest woman alive. Which is without a doubt the coolest thing ever. Like dozens of citizens of Central City, I was struck by lightning from the Speed Force storm that gave me the ability to run at super speed. But unlike the rest, I got an extra bonus, and that I can track anyone who has the Speed Force inside them. Most of my days are spent training the new speedsters at the Star Labs Speed Force Training Center. But at night, I'm stopping villains from causing havoc in Central City, along with the Flash's new partner. We've been pulling double duty lately, but Tanjung Banoa, Bali. I'm taking a break with this new guy I'm dating, but it's really more his day off. His name is Barry Allen, and he's the Flash. I know that because he told me. He trusted me with his greatest secret. Normally, Barry never takes time for himself, but he led the defeat of Black Hole. He took down their leader, Dr. Carver, before he... excuse me, I get the beer burps. He took down their leader, Dr. Carver, before he could kill more speedsters as Godspeed. And with his training, the new speedsters, everyone feels a lot safer. It's been a long time since I've seen a sunrise. I mean, I race past it almost daily, but I never stop to enjoy it like this. You've earned it, Barry. Thanks. For so long, I just felt like I needed to always be on the run. And I was worried with my connection to the Speed Force diminished that I wouldn't be able to do enough. But now, with you, August, and the Speedsters, I can stop and smell the roses. Speaking of which, I'm going to head to the Speed Force Center to work with the new Speedsters. Avery is making great progress. Good. I'll be along later today to help with the training, but I need to take care of some Barry Allen business today. I think I'm going to have lunch with an old friend. You ready? Sorry. I'm still waiting for someone. Barry? You're here. We agreed on breakfast at 8 a.m., Iris, but you're on time. Actually, I think I'm late. This has to be a first. Well, wait a minute. I know that smile. You have a new girlfriend, don't you? Not a girlfriend per se, but we're seeing what we have in common, which turns out to be a lot. Like, well, first, her name is Mina, and she's a very talented scientist at Star Labs. Meanwhile, at Star Labs Speed Force Training Center. The Speedster's doing well? Detective August Hart was the first to be hit by the lightning, and is the Flash's newest partner. We don't always see eye to eye, but I can tell he's a good man who cares about the Speedsters. Excellent. Today we might even practice catching bullets at super speed. You're joking. Tell me you're joking. If they're all going to be using the Speed Force to be superheroes, they're going to need to be ready to race into danger. That means sometimes they're going to get shot at or worse. Some of the speedsters might not want to put on a mask and tights. That'd be a waste of the powers. They don't have your skill set. They want to lead normal lives. But hold on. There's someone outside. A speedster. Here you are, Wally. Do you go inside and learn about Speed Force? No, I can't. If Aunt Iris found out, she'd be too worried. Where are you going, kid? If you want to learn about your powers at the Speed Force Training Center, you're more than welcome to come inside. We'd love to teach you. Sorry, but you're wrong. I don't have any powers. I was just walking by. Hold on. The Speed Force sometimes grants speedsters extra abilities aside from the speed. Mine is that I can sense and track people who have the Speed Force in them. It's why I call myself Fast Track. And you have the speed running through your veins, kid. You're getting into stranger danger territory, lady. What's your name? I just want to help. I'm not ready, okay? I don't want anyone to know about my powers yet. Why not? It's complicated. You can trust me. My real name is Mina, and I've been working with the Flash to help. You work with the Flash? Yes. You don't have to go into Star Labs, but at least let me show you a few tricks that the Flash has taught me. Maybe just a few. Now will you tell me your name? It's Wally. Okay, let's start with the very first thing the Flash taught me. It's important that you always keep yourself grounded. That you never go so fast or think so fast that you lose sight of here and now. I'm not ready to vibrate through stuff just yet. That's okay. Fear is good. Being afraid to run into things will help you not run into things. You have to have some faith that the Speed Force will guide you. Eventually, it becomes muscle memory, and you just hit a flow. But don't rely too much on your powers for everything. Please, I knew cars long before I had speed. Remember, the speed doesn't define who you are. You define who you are. But having super speed sure is awesome. Check this out. If I focus, I can actually make lightning. Whoa, I haven't even learned how to do that yet, Wally. You know, we have some impressive equipment at the training center. You could really show off your skills there. I don't know, Mina. I feel better training with just crash. Help! Oh no. Snap. Don't slow down when you start going up the building, Wally. I've never run up a building before. Neither have I, but we have no choice. Ah! I got the one on the left. And I have the one on the right. Oh, they're too heavy. What now? Spin your arm, Wally. We can create a cushion. Spin. Whoosh. We're still going too fast. Trust me, Wally. Whoosh. Woo, woo, woo. Help is on the way. Now, come on, kid. We can't have anyone seeing you without a mask. Let's run. I'm the worst teacher ever. What are you talking about? That was awesome. Huh. So I take it you're ready to join us at the Speed Force Training Center? Mina, it was rad training with you today, but the Flash keeps his identity secret for a reason, you know? Being a hero can't put people you love in danger. He probably only tells people he really trusts. You're right. Okay, how about this? You meet me here every day at this time, and I'll train you. Myself. Just you and me. Partners? Partners. You know, this is the first time I've ever... Sorry. You know, this is the first time you've ever stayed to pay the check, right? What? No way. You owe me a lot of money, Barry. I'll pay you back, I promise. Are you just clocking in, Alan? I'm so glad you decided to grace the crime lab with your presence today. You plan to actually work, or are you too busy feeding stories to Iris West and the Central City Citizen? Now would probably be a good time to do one of your famous disappearing acts, Barry. See ya. Iris? Sorry, I need to... Alan? Detective Hart here just closed his 5th case this week. 5th. All in a solid day's work, Director Singh. Hart has requested your help with the case, so why don't you go make yourself useful? Sure thing, Director Singh. I thought you were training with the speedsters. I was. I am. But I still have my caseload to take care of. I can't let my superhero life get in the way of my job, you know? That has always been a challenge for me. And now you have me. You're not alone anymore, Barry. You can be a cop. You can be the Flash. And you can still have a love life. Why are the doors smoking? Oh, no. It's just like Godspeed's attack at Iron Heights, but Carver's still in a coma. Help! Mina, help! It's Godspeed! Avery, get away from them, you monster! Whoosh! You're intangible? Avery, run! Oof. Crack, crack, crack. Stay calm. I'm gonna get you all out of here. We can vibrate past. Ah, damn. What should I do? Get the Flash. It's okay, I think. I think Godspeed is only trying to steal our speed. But if we all spin together against his momentum, we can stop him. On the count of 3. 1, 2. It's not working. Ah. Whoosh. Gotta find Flash. Gotta find Flash. So, what's up with you and Iris? I thought you were dating Mina. Iris and I are just good friends. Sorry, Iris and I are just friends. Good friends. You're always a bit late to the party, aren't you, Barry? Iris and I tried. It never works. But with Mina, I know we just met, but we clicked. There's a spark. Flash, I've looked for you everywhere for you. Avery, slow down. You're talking so fast I can't understand you. Godspeed is attacking Star Labs. He's trying to steal speed from the speedsters and Mina. But that's impossible. We caught Black Hole. Whoosh. Screech. No. Mina. Where is she? Wow, that's a cliffhanger ending. Let's get to the chats. Dun, dun, chat session. All right. Let's see. Melissa's ranting about Harley. She doesn't like Harley White Knight. It's too bad, man. Sean Gordon Murphy fixed Harley Quinn in White Knight. He made Harley work. He's a smart writer, in my opinion. I'm not going to spoil how he did it because I think it's really cool. So if you haven't read the books, you should. let's see, they don't know how to deal with Harley. That's true. In the mainstream, they don't know what to do with Harley. But Sean Gordon Murphy did in the Murphyverse. Let's see. Let's see. Dragon Ball says the back ran off. Oh yeah, we made fun of. That's where I came in. Dragon Ball says he sounds like a professional voice actor. What are you talking about? You're not talking about me, that's for sure. Not Mina again on the first page to chase readers off. You're a Mina hater, Dragon Ball? Are you a Mina hater, or you just hate girls? Ooh, I'll put you on the spot. If I opened a book and seen her on the first page, and I bought a book with Flash on the cover, I'd return it for my money back. Why? She's Flash's love interest. There are other characters besides the main book, right? Would you buy if you bought a Batman book and you open up the first page and had Alfred on it, would you take it back? Come on, man. Let's see. I love Flash, but I can't stand it when those nobodies try to take the spotlight away from him, especially on the very first page. I don't know if she's trying to take the spotlight away from him. I don't get that sense. In this book, everyone idolizes the Flash, especially the speedsters. So I don't think they're trying to take the spotlight. Sometimes you need a red shirt to die, so the hero doesn't have to. Ash improve a little bit, says Lord. I don't know what that means. I'm putting on a few comics explain videos so I can get some good books in. Sorry. Okay. Why don't you just read the books? I hate comics. I don't hate comics explained, but so many people just watch those videos and I'm like, why don't you just read them? I don't understand why you just want someone to tell you what happened. I don't want to go to the movies. Just tell me what the movie is about. I just never understood that. And if the book's not interesting enough to read, then why go watch a video of someone telling you what it was? I guess, I don't know. I guess different strokes for different folks. Let's see. Ronnie says, this is story development. Marina is not a nobody. Well, she's a nobody to me. But I don't know Flash that much. So, but yeah, you never know when a character is going to become a big deal. The art is improving with this issue, not as animated cartoon influence as the past few issues, says Manya. Okay. Yeah, I thought the art was good in this issue. Let's see. Singh needs to take that stick out of his butt. Oh, come on. He's a police chief, right? He's got to have the stick up his butt. Plus, Barry's not showing up to work. He's actually a pretty understanding police chief. He got his partner's got 5 crimes solved, and Barry's not even showing up to work. He's not fired. I think Singh needs to get a little bit of slack cut to him because he's being pretty nice. I bet Dragon Ball is happy if Godspeed took out Mina. Probably. FF2 says he loved Batman White Knight. Melissa hates the White Knight in Pre-52 and DCAU is the real Harley. Well, that's the thing, Melissa. White Knight is based off the DC animated universe. It's based off of the Batman animated series. When Sean Gordon Murphy started writing White Knight originally, in his mind, his headcanon was he was writing in that universe. Now, it's taken off. It's been a real popular series, and so DC's sort of labeled it the Murphyverse. But that was Sean Gordon Murphy's thing. So the Harley Quinn that he was writing in his books was that Harley Quinn. I think, Melissa, that you haven't really read those stories, and you just have a little bit of prejudice because you know a little bit about what happened, and you don't like what it sounds like. And so it's turning you off, and you're kind of crossing your arms and being stubborn with your lower lip pouted, put up, I like what he did, all grumpy. But you never know. Sometimes people can win you over. It's good to keep an open mind. I've had my mind changed plenty of times. Let's see. I used to watch comics explained, but I'm glad I stopped. I wanted to read the stories for myself and discover more stories on my own. I think I'm doing a pretty good job at that, says FF2. Well, you're under no obligation. I don't want to make it sound, that sounds cool for you. If anyone wants to watch comics explained and not read the comics, it's your life. I mean, you spend every moment of your living time. You have a finite amount of time on this earth. You spend it the way you want. When I say the things that I do, it's not out of trying to order anyone around. It's more of just kind of just giving my advice. I could see myself watching comics explained for maybe some events that I don't want to read, because like maybe it was like something that Bendis did, but it was a big event in the Marvel Universe or something. And I'm like, I kind of want to know what happened. For example, like Civil War II. I have no interest in reading Civil War II. I have heard so much crap about how terrible this is, but I am kind of curious to know like how everything played out, just so I'm up to speed. So maybe I would watch comic explained on that. But if anything is like a good story, like if it's, I don't understand why people would go watch comics explained on for something like the Infinity Gauntlet or something like one of the major great storylines. Like, you're just ruining it for yourself. You only get a first experience once, right? That's my theory. The Jeter Harley is the real Harley. I don't know what the Jeter Harley is. I used to watch comics. Oh wait, we already did that. Let's see. I said New 52 Harley sucks. I hate her. She's the modern Harley. I hate. You said you hated the White Knight Harley too, Melissa. Come on. Anyways, you can like whatever you like. It's your life. I just think not liking stuff is not pleasant. So I like to try to turn people around, and I think Sean Gordon Murphy's stuff is worth it. I love his work. There's plenty of bad stuff out there I'm not going to make excuses for, but there you have it. What do you guys think of this issue? Well, I guess I got a little bit of that info. I don't know much about Godspeed, but I like him. I like the name. I like the look of the character. So hopefully he is a good character. Let's see if we learn more about him in this next. This is issue 6, Revenge. Central City. Leave me alone. I didn't do anything. You got the wrong guy. Whoosh. Ah! Why are you doing this to me? Because no one should escape justice. Please, don't kill me. Don't worry. I'll make it quick. And painful. Ah! My name is Barry Allen, and I'm a failure. Central City was hit by a Speed Force storm that gave dozens of normal people powers just like mine. One started calling himself Godspeed, and violently stole the speed from others, killing them in the process. I thought it was Dr. Carver, leader of the Black Hole, a faction of rogue scientists. But I was wrong. Star Labs. I got lazy, and Godspeed attacked a group of speedsters, including my girlfriend, Mita Dewan. My friend Detective August Hart has been tracking to help me, but I know where his priorities are. Black Hole is the only connection he had to his brother's death. Iron Heights is safe and secure, Flash. Carver is still a basket case after he tried to force the Speed Force into himself. And without their leader, it's looking like the remaining members of Black Hole have gone into hiding. I'm out of leads on my brother's murder case. Billy Parks is still out there. Barry? Barry, are you listening to me? My brother's case has gone cold again. Have you slept? When was the last time you left the lab? I spent all morning notifying the families of Godspeed's victims, August, telling them that their loved ones died on my watch. You should have let me or another detective do that. The speedsters were my responsibility. Godspeed, Black Hole, I won't let your brother's case become another thing that I failed to solve. I need to work the evidence on all the cases. You've done everything for these cases as Barry Allen and as the Flash. I know that. It's part of who you are. It's not just a case to me. It's you. It's Mina. You need to let yourself grieve, Barry. Mina wouldn't want you to be pushing yourself like this. Based on the data from the crime scene, I'm not even sure Mina's dead. Barry. Avery saw Godspeed attack Mina and the other speedsters. Mina's suit was there, but there was no body. And what do we know about a crime scene with no body? I think you're in denial. The results from Mina's suit, they remind me of something that happened to me once. It was a long time ago. But that's impossible. Don't start reaching for straws, Barry. It's like you always say, stay grounded. Follow the evidence. We'll catch this guy, you and me. I already searched Central City. I ran every square inch. And I found nothing. So I'm not leaving this lab again until all the evidence has been processed. Barry, I know you want revenge, but I want justice, August. When are you going to understand that? Mr. Flash, you need to come out here. You can just call me Flash, Avery. You're speed talking again. Are you upset about Dr. Dewan? Yes, but that's not, sorry, I'm not why I'm here. Godspeed struck again. What? Whoosh. This morning, the police found bodies of 4 Central City speedsters that appear to match the killings at Iron Heights and Star Labs. This brings the murderous Godspeed's death toll to 12. How do they know his name is Godspeed? Because we told them. We went to the press, Flash. People need to know. But if Godspeed is only killing speedsters, we want you to take the powers away from us. We don't want to be part of your world anymore. I don't know how to do that without hurting you, but I promise I can protect you from Godspeed. Like you protected Mina? You're right. I should have done more. And I still should. August, stay here and watch over the speedsters. What? Where are you going? To solve this case. Avery is right. My promises mean nothing right now until I stop Godspeed. But I need to find out who he is first. Screen reads, headline, Murder at Star Labs. Who is Godspeed? By Iris West. And if I know Iris, she's already finished her headline. Do you always work in the dark? When I have to write articles like this one, yeah. CCPD released the victims' names. I'm sorry about Mina, Barry. I can't tell Iris that I don't think Mina is dead. That could give away that I'm the Flash. Thanks. I was actually hoping that you could help me. I've been starring at the Star Labs crime scene photo. Staring. Starring. Take 3. I've been staring at the Star Labs crime scene photos and data for hours, and I'm starting to go blind. I thought maybe a fresh set of eyes could... No worries. We'll find Dr. Dewan's murderer. Dr. Dewan is dead? Someone killed Mina? How? Who killed her? Wally, why aren't you in school? What happened? We have a lead on who killed the speedsters, but it's complicated. We don't even know if Mina is... Isn't this your job? Wally. You should be out there investigating. What are you doing hitting on my Aunt, Barry? Wally, calm down. We're doing our best to. If we rely on you, the killer will never get caught. Mina needs the Flash. And I'm going to find him. Wally, wait. How did you know Mina? Wally? Why didn't I see this coming? Is this another thing that I was too overwhelmed to notice? I should have known this would happen. I just thought there was no way another Wally West in my life could ever get access to the Speed Force, but... Did Wally? Iris, where does Wally go when he's upset? Let him be, Barry. You can't make him talk to us. Wally will come to us when he's ready. But I think I found something. About Godspeed? Sort of. The only connection between all the killings was that Godspeed was going after Central City citizens who were struck by lightning from the Speed Force storm, right? Yes. There was one body found among this morning's victims that had some of the same markings as the speedsters found at Iron Heights and Star Labs, but wasn't registered with Star Labs as a speedster. Doesn't really mean anything since I'm sure not everyone wanted to sign up for Star Labs boot camp, but the way it looks like this one died... What was the victim's name? Maybe I... Oh, no. We need to talk. Jeez, Barry. You should be careful sneaking up on a guy like that. I've been looking into Godspeed's victims, August. There was one victim who didn't have access to the Speed Force. That doesn't really fit Godspeed's M.O. The speedsters' deaths, they were killed because the Speed Force was ripped out of them. But this one, the victim was dragged, August. Dragged at super speed. Sounds like it was personal. It was Billy Parks. The man you suspected murdered your brother. Tell me you didn't do this, August. He deserved to die. Billy could have been innocent. The evidence never... My gut is right. He did it, Barry. We don't know that. Yes, we do. My father was innocent and spent 15 years in prison because the police were wrong. What if you're wrong? I'm not. I thought you of all people would understand that I just wanted justice for my brother. Killing Parks wasn't justice. What is? You telling me to still trust the system? Yes! You said it yourself. They let your father rot in prison. They let my brother's killer walk. You weren't there with me, Barry. You were my friend and you were too busy playing hero as the Flash to help me with this case. You weren't there when I had to tell my mom and dad that the monster who killed their son was going free. You murdered a man. I took a criminal off the streets, and the other were just wasting their powers. What? Did you kill the speedsters too? What about Mina? You barely knew her, Barry. Excuse me? You and Mina weren't some great love affair for the ages. So don't turn Mina into another tragedy for you to make into your life story. What are you talking about? It's who you are. As the Flash and as a CSI, the only thing that gets Barry Allen out of bed in the morning is death. Why do you think Zoom killed your mother? Crack. See what I mean? You know, when I was trying to come up with a code name for myself, I thought of calling myself the new and improved Flash. Because you clearly weren't cutting it. But instead, I realized with these powers, I am judge, jury, and executioner. So I call myself Godspeed. Try to catch me, Flash. Whoosh. Why kill the speedsters, August? Because they were wasting their powers. They could have been heroes like us. Whoosh. You're not a hero. Because you say so. Crack, crack. Booyah. I know that's in hindsight seems like it was pretty obvious, but I did not see that coming. Pretty good. Pretty good. Ed Brewer says, this issue made me want to hear the next one. That's good. That means you'll be here Tuesday. Oh, God. Sam Adams is such good beer. Okay. Melissa says she doesn't hate White Knight Harley. She embodies the pre-52 and DCU Harley, the real Harley, not the modern Hot Topic fake Harley I hate. Are you sure you read the White Knight Harley, Melissa? I don't want to spoil anything. I can't talk about the White Knight Harley because it'll spoil. There's a really cool thing, and you start talking the details. I'm just gonna drop it. Marani says, I like the little DC product placement things like Superman coffee mug or t-shirt in these issues. That is cool. I like seeing that stuff. And it makes sense, right? In a world where Superman exists, there would be Superman shit all over the place. Like, yeah. Let's see. Ronnie says, back to the cartoony art style of this issue, but some panels are good. Let's see. Ronnie says, oh no, this is a Sharon Carter level turn of character. He's a serial killer, says Melissa. Yup. I should have known. I think the one Godspeed issue that I not issue, but storyline, back when I was, back when we did the Ash and Bats show. I think it was the Jeff Johns storyline he wanted us to read for the show, and it was Godspeed was the villain of that storyline. And I think I remember now that I'm reading this that it was August Park? What is his name? August something? Now I'm recalling. Jimmy is in the house. He says, hey. I like making voices up for Jimmy. I don't know how he really sounds, but since he can't sound himself, I can make him sound however I want. FF2 says the art of White Knight is amazing. Accidentally killed people. And instead of just coming clean that there was an accident, he then framed his friends for murder. Like, what? That was like the weird diabolical thing. But Wally West himself, he just lost control of his power. Like, he wasn't his fault. It was an accident. But the less we talk about that, probably the better. Let's see. Jimmy says, I think I just posted the best video I ever made. Hope you guys support. Aw, Jimmy, thanks for coming to my channel to plug yourself. Instead of supporting me, you can use me as advertising space. Thanks. Superman would just sign it over to an orphanage. Sign it over to an orphanage. Ed, what did Ed say? Oh, how would Superman get his royalty checks from merch sales? He wouldn't get any royalty checks. Because that's what happens. In order for Superman, he would have to trademark himself, which means he would have to identify himself as Clark Kent. So Superman, since he has a secret identity, he wouldn't be able to protect any sort of trademark, so it would be open. That's what any superhero would end up facing. Like it all a Superman thing. Ed says, I'll go check it out after this, Jimmy. Look at that. Ed's a nice guy. Jimmy says, I'm buffering. What? Can't be having that. I think it's fixed now, though, by the time I notice the chat. Let me see. Nope, still buffering. What's going on? What's going on, Internet? YouTube says I'm fine. No, it says excellent connection, but it's buffering. How does that work? You have an excellent connection. I don't even know if you're hearing me. I have to keep talking, though, because I guess it would just be silence. I guess I should put the be right back sign up. No data. Oh, now YouTube's telling me it's not getting enough. All right. Well, now it's playing, so let's see. Wait till I get the be right back sign pops up to where that'll know I'm live. But everything seems fine on my side. I don't know. Let's see. Superman and Ra's al Ghul exist in White Knight, says Melissa. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how Sean Gordon Murphy would handle other DC property characters. Let's see. Jimmy says it's good now. It's like it takes so long to get that information. But YouTube's still saying it's having data problems, which I can't do much about. What's weird is, like, I got the house to myself, so there's no one sucking up any side bandwidth. So you'd think that I would have the best possible stream. Let me see. I got the stream settings on normal latency. That's good. Let's see. I'm gonna set my. You guys are all bored here while I'm trying to troubleshoot live. Troubleshooting live with Ash on Comics. I'll prioritize myself on the network. See if that makes any difference. Not that there's any other machines it should be. All right. Okay. All right. Jimmy says you're good now, but there's no comments after that. So what do I do? Let's see. This is where all my friends are. You don't need to read it on the stream. Wait, you don't need to read it on the stream. Tom King is ticked that I'm dissing what he did to Wally West. He's, I'm being DDoSed by Tom King. That would be funny. All right. Well, YouTube says I have excellent connection now. I'm going to trust it for some reason. But what do you guys think? We're at the end of Barry's day off. He took a day off and his partner murdered everybody. That sucks. Ronnie says, careful, Ash, your doggy might be placing a secret order to Chewy.com. That'd be funny. That would be mighty funny. I'm enjoying this. I gotta say, like, well, first of all, I mean, I just think Josh Williamson, excuse me, I got the beer burp still. I think Josh Williamson is a good writer. He's definitely one of the best ongoing type writers, the guys who just write monthly books. And you gotta hand it to this guy. He writes like 3 monthly books at a time, at least, right? Because he's got Birthright. He's got Nail Biter. So those are 2 independent comics that he writes. He was writing Batman vs. Superman, but then they moved him off that book. Well, he was writing Flash when they moved him off that. Put him on Batman Superman. They moved him off. He's doing something else. I think he's doing the new Robin book. Yeah, I think he's doing the new Robin book, which, God, that was like mixed feelings. Because I was like, F this new Robin book. I hate what they're doing, Damian. They're just screwing Superboy. Now they're screwing Damian. But then they put a good writer on the book. And I was like, it'd be so much easier if you just put like Vita Ayala on it or something. Then I could just walk away. But then I go, Josh Williamson, he's a good writer. Oh, well, DC's dead to me. Well, not completely. I'll still buy more White Knight books when those come out. But speaking of White Knight, Melissa's taken off. Thank you, Melissa, for hanging out for the full stream. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's comic. Special for you. No SJW-isms. No fascism stuff. No weird muties. Just good, clean comic book fun, right? Just good heroes fighting villains. Just good stories. No wokeness, no politics, nothing. Just here's a bad guy, here's a hero, got to try to save people. This is what Cape Comics are all about. Wish we could have more of this. DC Rebirth was an amazing time. It's really does not get the credit it deserves. One of the best eras of comics of any era. I mean, I go, like I said, I talk about Jim Shooter era Marvels being the greatest time of comic books ever, but the DC Rebirth would have given that time a run for its money. That's how good DC Rebirth era was, in my opinion. So I think that's it. FF2 says, have you read Sweet Tooth? I have not. Sweet Tooth is actually different than what I was talking about, Nail Biter. But Sweet Tooth is a Jeff Lemire book, I believe. And it's also drawn by Jeff Lemire. I've heard good things. People have said it. It's one of those things I look at and go, that doesn't look like it's for me. So, which is really weird because I'm a big Jeff Lemire guy. By the way, I got to try to get Skip onto this book, but there is here. Let's go to the Comixology thing here. There is, Comixology has like their Comixology originals. Where is it? Right here. This book here, Snow Angels. It's Comixology originals. This is really good. It's Jeff Lemire with art by Jacques. Jimmy, you might like this because I know you like horror stuff. This is a good horror thriller book. It's one of my favorite right now, like tied with Oblivion Song. I was shocked at how much I liked this. Now, I'm not a big fan of Jacques' art. That's the only downside. I do like his covers. He's a good cover artist. But as an interior guy, you can see. I should probably not show interiors for the third issue. could be spoiling stuff. Here's the first. Let's see. Yeah. So see, good cover. Look at the composition of this cover. Really good. I don't, it's give or take. Some people love Jacques, but this book, it's fine. Like the way the type of story that this is it doesn't rely on the art as much. Plus, I think the low level of detail of Jacques' art really kind of enhances the story in a way, because it takes place in this world where it's just snow all the time, and there's this trench that the people live in, and there's like 3 rules to the trench. Number 1, the trench provides. Rule number 2, you must never ever leave the trench. And then what's rule number 3? The trench never ends, I think, is the 3rd rule. And then there's like supposedly monsters, and I don't want to say too much, but it's got really good tension. And it's the main characters is this guy here, who's the father, and then he has 2 daughters, and they're a couple years apart, so they have a younger one, and I think the older one's like 12 and the younger one's like 10. And I don't know, as an older guy, I just really relate in this level. It really has a strong father-daughter relationship, but then it's got a horror story, and it's a dad trying to protect his kids, like in this post-apocalyptic snowy wasteland horrors. Like it's tense. And the kids, they act like kids, which I really like. Not like stupid adults that they're childish. Like, you know what I'm saying, when kids are written bad. Anyways, Jeff Lemire, great. I wish this was like an actual book that I could just buy, I guess. But then I'm getting it free on Comixology as it releases, so I don't know. The Comixology originals is kind of hit or miss, because I don't really like digital. I mean, you can't collect digital comics. I think what Comixology originals would be cool if they did is release it like this, and then maybe somewhere down the road, like 6 months later, release it in a physical trade that you could buy. Because I don't know. This is good. I'm enjoying it. If you have Comixology Unlimited, which you should if you like comics, get this. If you don't, you can pay $2.99 an issue, which is still cheaper than most comics, and it's better than most comics. But if you have Unlimited, you can just read them all anytime you want. So I don't know how I got steered off on that, but it's a good book. Oh, and also Jimmy, since Jimmy's here, I think probably left. So if he left, then he doesn't get to hear me give him some credit. A long time ago, Jimmy wanted me to read Invincible, and I did read Invincible on this show. One of the earlier episodes, we did like the first trade of Invincible. Marani remembers because she liked it, and I was like, I was kind of iffy on it. And Jimmy was one of those people that was like, oh, dude, you got to read like more of it. Like, it gets so much better. And I was like, yeah, I've kind of heard that, but it's tough to still get over your first impression, you know? And then the TV show came out. So this is, like many, many months later, probably a year later, I don't know, the TV show comes out. And I watched the first 3 episodes of the TV show because they all released it once. I was like, it's okay. But I found myself still kind of like pulled to it. So when the 4th episode came out, I was like, I'll watch it, see. And it just kind of started growing on me more and more and more. And I was like, man. And then I got to I think they have like 7 episodes now. And I got to the point where you have to wait a week for each episode, which I like. I hate the Netflix method. But it's aggravating to wait for it. But when it's all said and done, I appreciate it. But in that downtime where I'm like, I can't wait for another episode of Invincible, I'm like, I should just go read the comic because there's like 144 issues. So I picked up the comic again and I started reading it. And I'm on issue like 20 now. And anyone who said otherwise, they're right. The Invincible comic does get better. One of the big problems I had was the art. That original artist, I think his name's like Corey Chase or something, not a good artist, which I don't really fault the book because, you know, it was 2003. Robert Kirkman was a nobody. It's not like he commanded any power to get great artists or whatever. You do fine. It's an independent book. Still, I mean, as a buyer, if I read it, I still want decent art. Well, Ryan Ottley takes over, I think, on issue 9-ish, somewhere around there. And I have to take back a lot of negative things I said about Ryan Ottley. I still think he's overrated on Spider-Man, but he was good. I mean, he's a nice step up on Invincible, and he definitely has some talents that I didn't give him credit for. And I'm very much enjoying Kirkman's writing is getting better with each issue because, you know, he was a very young writer at this time. He's still writing for Marvel at this time. So his writing is kind of raw, but it's getting better. You're getting better art. The story's kind of coming together. It's a fun book. If you like the TV show, the book is even better. Now, one thing though, going and reading the book is annoyed the shit out of me. Is it made me realize the wokeness of the TV show, and I'm very annoyed with the TV show. At first, I just sort of took it at face value and was like, okay, whatever. Okay, Invincible's best friend is gay. I remember when the episode came out, and I was like, oh, of course he's gay. Of course he's gay. Of course. And then his girlfriend, Amber, oh, she's a black girl. Of course. Okay, whatever. I rolled my eyes and just moved on. Because, yeah, you know, you can, white guy, black guy, that can happen. You can have friends that are gay. Like, it's not out of this world to think it. I just roll my eyes because it's like so cliche, and I'm like, and then I come to find out when I read the comic book, it's not the case. Amber's a beautiful blonde, like total, like hot babe type, like hottest girl in school, blonde girl. Now, does she have to be? Could she have been sure. You can change that, but why? I go back to what I always say. If you need to change a character's race, it's because you're racist. If it's not okay to you that Amber's a blonde white girl, that means because you're racist. And that means you're changing. Not only that, but her character is different. So when they made her the black girl in the TV show, they didn't just make her black. They also gave her all the shitty fucking attitude that's very cliche. I'm not saying that black girls are all this way, but it's a cliche stereotype. And she's always got this piss poor attitude. And it reminded me a lot of what they did with Spider-Man and how they made MJ like Mexican, but they also kind of made her like this like bitchy attitude, especially in the first movie. They started lightening her up in the second movie, which I appreciated. But in that first movie, I was like, it's one thing you like race swapped her with that different actress, but like you changed her character completely. You made her this total bitch. Amber's a total bitch in the show, but in the comics, she's like a really sweet girl, and she just, you know, has a similar storyline because Invincible's kind of always like leaving her behind, and she's like, "What's going on with you?" But she's like more like brokenhearted, and she's like trying to always be understanding and stuff. Whereas Amber's is like just kind of bitchy all the time. I don't know. That threw me. And then his best friend is gay, and in the show it's like always like, oh, we're going to the university, and like, oh, the guy who's showing us around, he's like total hot, like, look at I'm gay, like all the time. Which when I was watching the show, I was like, now I like use, oh, that character's not gay, and why does it matter that you race swap or you what do you say? I don't even know what you say. Sexual orientation swapped him, because in the comic, the storyline, that character hooks up with the girl that you kind of figure he likes, with Adam Eve. Like, Adam Eve dates his best friend, but you can't do that if he's gay. And it's like, so the show, it like deviates the show. Like, anyways, I just, you know me, I'm salty. I have an attitude towards woke BS. Don't do it. Don't just, and if you're going to do it original. Okay. Anyways, The show is still good. I'm still watching it. I still recommend it. I'm just annoyed. I think the comic book's even better. But like The Boys, I can watch the show and I can read the comics and enjoy them both. So that's my feeling on that. Ash, did you hear that the Madefire digital comic book providers have gone belly up? Better save your Comixology stuff. Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah, that's going to be a big downer for digital comics. So yeah, that's a thing. So I mean, when you buy digital comics, you're really not buying digital comics, unless the publisher. I'm going to double check actually. Some publishers will let you download the books. So apparently Comixology doesn't let you download the books. Where, let's see. Here, Invincible. Let's check it out. Oh, Invincible doesn't either? Oh, I don't own it. Durr. You have to go to your own books. I forgot about that. So you go to your own books. Browse your library. You pick a book that. So DC and Marvel don't let you. So I'll pick something else that I own. Let's do Birthright. So if I go. They make their navigation so weird. Yeah, so I own Birthright. So when I'm in the shop, it gives me the option down here, which I'm not showing because I'm a moron. It gives you an option down here to download PDF or the CBZ file, DRM free backup. So Image is usually really good about that. A lot of the independents will do this. Marvel and DC won't, and apparently Comixology Originals won't let you do that either. Oh, actually, they might. I just remembered, I don't own the book. So, of course, it's not going to let me download. Right. Okay. So, it's hit or miss. But, there you go. That's the way that works. Lord says he was always gay, but race swap is annoying. I guess maybe if he comes out later as gay, but in the comics I'm reading, dude's not gay. Like he's dating what's her name? Adam Eve. Ed says until next time, let's see, he was hinted at the start, but very later on in the comic. Though he was annoying in the comic. Yeah, he is annoying anyway. He's annoying in both the comic. Not quite as annoying in the comic as the TV show. In the TV show, I do like, actually, they do. Kirkman actually writes a few scenes where characters use the word gay. Like I use the word gay, which is sort of like to say something stupid. Like you're like, oh, that's so gay. Like not disparaging towards gay people, but like just, like, oh, so like you're doing something dumb or lame, that's gay. They do that multiple times. I'm like, you would never be able to do this today, you'd be canceled. But I appreciated it. I like when you can do stuff that offends people that shouldn't be offended. Lord says read Invincible 80. He was dating a guy. Don't spoil. Jesus, I'm only on issue. I even said I was on issue 20. Jerk. There we go. I don't think that's a major spoil, so I'm gonna let you off the hook with a warning. Don't fail me again. Well, guys, since you don't have anything more to say, Marania said RDV can't stand Ryan Ottley on Spider-Man, but I love him on Spidey. Ottley fits that book in my mind. Yeah. I just think that, first of all, I think his work on Invincible might be better than on Spidey, which is really bothering me since Invincible is like 18 years old. Well, probably 17 when Ryan, maybe 16 when Ryan got on it. But still, 16 years ago, Ryan Otley better than current Ryan Otley. But then again, Marvel doesn't pay for shit, and they probably have crazy deadlines. I don't know. I was not impressed with his Spidey stuff. You're right, his style is suitable for Spidey, and he probably could do a lot better if he put more effort into it. But I have higher standards. I have higher standards for a Marvel book, especially a top-tier Marvel book like Amazing Spider-Man. If Ryan Otley was like on Spectacular Spider-Man, I'd be like, okay. But Amazing Spider-Man should have a top-tier artist. And when I go over to DC of a couple years ago, and you see all the artists that are over there, you're like, oh, this is what comic book art should be like. That's all. Anyways, I'm going to blab all night. I got to use the little boys' room, and I got to go read some Berserker. Hopefully you got a copy of Berserker to read, and you can read it and pretend we're reading together. So that's it for tonight. We'll see you guys back for another story time on Tuesday. Until then, # read good comics. Take care and have a great night.